How do you feel?
I don't know. It's weird. Um, ha happy? Like not like eat a cookie happy. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Hmm. Different?
Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exceptionally different. Weird. That is really strange. It's not prepared for that.
What's up, you beautiful beasts? I'm Katie. I'm on a mission to help humans become the best possible versions of themselves and to strive for overall health, mental health, emotional health, physical health, all of the healths, without ever having to step on a scale. I have had the privilege to talk to all kinds of different humans who've been through a plethora of experiences just being a human and existing. I believe that every single time somebody shares their story, at least one person listening will learn from it, be inspired by it, and maybe, just maybe, even change the entire direction of their life. These are the stories of humans unveiling their beautiful beast. Keep listening. This is the Unveiling the Beast podcast. What's up, you beautiful beasts? Welcome back to the show. Today's episode is extremely different than the usual Unveiling the Beast podcast episodes in that I recorded a live, raw, real, emotional coaching session with Richard LaChance. He was gracious enough to record this knowing that I was going to share it with you guys. So keep in mind that not all coaching sessions are like this. This is a particular exercise that I wanted to try with him. If you're interested in just seeing what coaching is like or what coaching even is, this is the episode for you. Also, if you've been looking for a coach and you want to see if you and I are a good fit, go to beautifulbeastwithin.com. Click on the purple button that says book my free coaching call. As always, I hope something lands with you today. I hope something you hear tugs on your heartstrings or I hope you laugh.
One of these days, dude. I don't care who it is. I'll send an emissary from like Jim Henson or something to make you watch it. It's the most amazing movie. I know, but you've seen like the Never-Ending Story,
Yeah,
The Dark Crystal.
no,
Did you just not like puppets when you were a kid? Were you like aversion to puppets?
I just
I'm
never
just
heard of them.
I'm just wondering how you
Not
missed.
puppets, the movies. I
Right.
never
I mean,
heard of the movies. It's
yeah.
my
I'm
mom's
wondering.
fault.
It is your mom's fault. We could blame her. That would be fun. I have learned a thing or two about blame recently.
Go
So
on.
wait, no, uh, just that I spent a lot of my life blaming my dad and my mom for my issues, and come to find out, it's mostly just me that caused them. And
Hmm.
I knew that, but you carry those crosses with you for
Yeah.
a lot longer than you should. You said last time we did this that this time you were going to do your magic with me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that is that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I
I know.
I
And if you decide you don't want it to be posted, it's totally cool. It's all like if you feel like you're gonna hold back because it's gonna go public, don't worry about it. We won't make it go public. It'll just be between you and me.
no, as long as like if there's names mentioned, you can like when
Yeah, I can do
you know what
that.
I mean.
Yeah.
So just because I don't want feelings hurt, if
Right.
there's things that I would say to you that I might not say to someone else, I wouldn't want someone else's feelings to be like, why wouldn't he say that to my face? But
Right.
most things, I would say now more than ever, most things that I would say to you, I would say to anybody. I'm becoming even more of an open book without being a storyteller like I have been for the longest time. Because that's always where my little lies catch me is in the fish is this big, but it's really this big, or it's this big, but it's really that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where all of my little lies have. Hang on. Okay. It decided it wants to try to update right now, and I'm like, we're not doing that. So what I was saying was, how does this work with you life coaching me? I'm just really, I don't know what that means, so I'm nervous about it. So I'm like, punch it in the face, look at it, let's go do it.
Well, I feel like instead of explaining what it is, I should just do it.
Okay.
And with you being very open-minded, because some of the things I might say, you're gonna be like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
Normal people would say.
Yeah, but just like go with it and just go with it.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna go with it.
I mean, I'm not saying like I'm so good and you're gonna have a total breakthrough and stuff, but I'm just saying like just give it a try.
I will.
Freaking awesome.
I'm open to this.
Yeah.
I am.
I got coached yesterday before I do the ladies and gentlemen thing. I got coached yesterday by one of my peer coaches. And maybe I'll tell you this afterwards because then we'll kind of give away some of the juice. But it's really,
Okay.
it was good.
That's awesome.
But I'm wondering though if I should even do an intro. Like maybe I should just say, like, how I do a separate intro after we've done it?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll do that and just say you're gonna go in on a conversation where I actually did a coaching session with my cousin. So this one will be quite different than all the other fucking episodes we've done together.
It's not gonna be random
and raunchy.
Well, it might still get raunchy because if you're gonna life coach me, honey,
I'm gonna life coach you.
I'm excited.
Just say coach.
Coach? Just coach?
Coach. Yeah, I just coach you.
I have a lot of coaches in my life already. I have probably 4 major spiritual guides who really kind of push me into, the right path rather than making instant regrettable decisions, which is my MO.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to them all, and I'm telling you, I have grown a lot, and it just keeps happening. I just keep growing, and I think more now than ever because I'm open to the experience. Because after my dad died, I was just like, nah, we're not growing anymore. We're all done. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah.
So, but then, I almost drank, and that really
scared you.
It frightened me. Frightened me. 15 years terrified the shit out of me that I could be that close again, just like that.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, tell me a little bit about just like some shit that's been going on in your life, whether it's good or bad.
Okay. So since we last talked, I have been given some more responsibility at work, which is, it's very surface level, but it's good because, I'm typically a responsibility avoider. I don't want responsibility.
You?
Yeah, I know, right? Whoa. I'm also what's that word? Oh, dependability avoider. That's another one. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. And you probably know that better than anybody. So been given more responsibility, and that's good. It'll come with a pay raise eventually, which will also be good. My home life has taken some really crazy twists. I was almost divorced.
Can I pause you real quick?
Of course.
Are you okay with me taking notes?
Yeah.
Okay. Just gonna get your permission for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Let me find a spot on here.
Do you need a new notebook? You're gonna need a big one.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Holding. Paused. And by the way, if I keep looking away from the camera, it's because I'm obsessed with my own beard. And so I'm trying not to be egotistical.
That's okay.
It's really terrible. I like it. I like my beard.
I like it too.
Thank you. I wish it didn't have silver in it, but not much I can do about it. I'm not going to be one of those old guys who dyes his hair. No. I'm going to age gracefully.
You
Like,
are,
yeah,
old man.
I know. Shut up. Um, do I continue now?
Yeah.
Okay. Unpause. So yeah, about a month or month and a half ago, I was almost divorced. Because I basically came to odds about uh what it looks like to desire someone. And it's not all having to do with sex.
Right.
It has, it has to do with so much more than that, actually. To me, it's, uh, when you're committed to someone in a relationship, I feel like there's all kinds of ways you can show attention, and she wasn't really showing any of it
Mm.
anywhere. And so we started going to marriage counseling, and that was okay. I mean, if anything, that was good because it allowed me a third person to be there so that I could say things that I didn't want to say to her alone. And that kind of erupted. And so I ended up spending the night at my sponsor's house because she was like, go. If you need to go, I can't hold you back anymore. And I was like, fine, I will. And
Yeah.
and then I came back the next day because I live here. And I was like, look, you sound like you don't want to change. So and basically she explained that she does want to change, she just doesn't know how. And there's a lot of ins and outs to that. And come to find out, her estrogen level is 500% above normal.
Damn.
Yeah. So, and apparently that can cause all kinds of things physically, lack of desire, lack of, willingness to get up and do anything, depression, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that actually was a really good thing that happened because whether or not we stay together, it created for her a solution, if you will, to things that she struggled with long before me.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. And then my kids, my kids are the most difficult thing in my life right now. I'm living with one of them, and they have asked us to stay and help financially. So, that is that's hard because it, I know it's all to the good. I know it's all to the good, but because they have been just the two of them for so long, there's a resistance to wanting to share the house,
Mm.
right? This is my house, even though we're paying half the rent and we're doing all of that, we live in a bedroom. And so it's like they've been super kind about most things, but then there's some things where like they snatch it back, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay. So but I am kind of always on the go now. I go to 4 meetings a week, 4 AA meetings a week, working out 2 days a week. I got music stuff going on. I'm just kind of everything is happening, so I don't really spend a lot of time at home anyway. So that's good. And then as far as my two girls, they are bane of my existence. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hold on, let me end.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Will kill. No. No. So I don't know whether it's my parenting that I did a bad job, or their mom's influence, or what. I don't know what it is, but it's just a constant battle to keep them uh happy, and and me keep myself in their good graces.
Mm-hmm.
With it's all of her pronouns, and it's all of the, LGBTQ plus stuff, and it's all this, accept me as I am. And I'm like, I'm trying as hard as I can to accept you as you are. Um, and then it's this repeated, blame for how she ended up. Well, I'm the middle child in my mom's family. I'm the youngest child in your family, and so I just never had a chance. And my behavior is the way it is because of my circumstances. And um, and so every conversation with her lends itself back to me having to own up to things that I may or may not have done based on her memory.
Mm.
And then with it's so she's my first grandbaby was born, and he's a cutie and growing bigger every day. And so I'll give you an example. This just happened last night. I came home and she called me, and her birthday was on the 25th of August. And we sent her a whole bunch of presents, made things by hand. And instead of thanking us for all of the love that we poured into it, she went on and on about all the presents that the rest of her family there gave her, and how they are so supportive and they're there for her when she needs them, and all this stuff, when not even 2 weeks ago she was calling us telling us how terrible they are. And it just every time the pieces fall apart with her, we're there to pick them up, but then we're never given the reward of, oh, you're so loving and kind and all this stuff. That doesn't exist for us.
Yeah.
So I got really hurt over it at first, and I have to stew over things. It's what I do.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I'm doing the best I can. I'm living my life. I can't be everyone to everything to everyone. So if this is the way that she needs to feel, so be it. If that is her modus operandi right now, I guess, just flip flopping between I hate these people that I live with and oh, they're the greatest thing that's ever happened. I can still be supportive when she hates them,
Mm-hmm.
and not have to hurt over that. Just or if I am hurting over it, not have to show her. I didn't let her know that the things she was saying to me on the on the call were hurting my feelings. I just, oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's great. And then you do the best you can to be enthusiastic, and then you get off the phone so you can go to the shower and cry.
Yeah.
So that is really where my second biggest struggle is with those two children of mine. And then the first one is money. That's I such a selfish, greedy little bitch.
Selfish, greedy.
Yeah.
Well, but before you continue on with that, I want to dig into the thing with your kids, because your energy is your energy that comes from everything that you just said. I can feel the energy of sadness coming through the screen.
I believe it.
So I want to work with that. And would you call it a sadness, or is there another name that you would have for that, whatever emotions come up when that happens?
Despair.
Despair.
Mm-hmm. It's deeper than just sadness. It's at the core of my interior.
Do I have your permission to try a little exercise with you? And I don't mean like bicep curls. I mean like an internal exercise. Are you in a place where you can speak openly and freely?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I want you to be comfortable. So whatever that means to you. I prefer that you close your eyes.
Can I smoke while I close my eyes?
No.
Damn, she said no. She wanted me to be comfortable.
I know, but that'll affect, because I'm going to have you go inside of yourself. Okay.
All right.
So take a few deep breaths. And I want you to connect with despair. And you can give me like a nod or a nose wiggle or whatever when you've connected with it. Where does that show up in your body? In your chest? You can speak. Yeah.
My chest and my throat.
And I know this will sound weird, but does it have a shape or a color?
Black. It's black. It's emptiness almost.
Does it have any movement?
I don't understand.
Like when you see it inside of your chest, is it moving or is it staying the same? Is it pulsating? Is it
Kind
still?
kind of melting.
Okay.
Like
And
over a wall. Like, like really slow melting.
does it have like can you guess what it would feel like if you touched it?
Be hot and sticky,
Hot and sticky.
but not
And
in
does
a
it
good way.
does it does it have a sound? Is it making any noise?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else that comes up about this black, hot, sticky, melting emptiness in your chest?
I don't know. Kind of like a vague feeling about my mom. Just not like she's there. Just I just get a vague feeling about her. I don't know how to describe it.
It's okay if you can't describe it. Okay, so if this emotion, despair, if it had a voice, what would it say? What would it tell you?
You're not good enough. You're a failure. You're never going to succeed.
Would it say anything else to you?
Nobody really likes you.
Would it say anything else, or does that feel complete?
That's it.
Okay, so I want you to back up a few feet from your despair. And I want you to look at it. And I want you to tell it the truth. What's the truth?
I don't know. that I've done the best I can. And that I keep trying to be better. That I don't mean to be a failure. I don't know.
So think of it like all the things you just said that despair is telling you. You're not good enough. You're a failure. You'll never succeed. Nobody likes you. I want you to defend yourself. Tell that despair why it's wrong.
I am good enough because people still choose to spend time with me and they choose to love me. It's not like I force people into my life. They choose to be with me. I'm not a failure because it's not all about money. I've done some really amazing things for people with love, kindness, and I will succeed because I know how to keep going. I know how to pull myself up and just keep moving. I think there are people who like me just the way I am because they keep coming around.
What else is the truth? Tell it. You put your fist down on the table and you'd be like, look.
I am okay today. I am. I have been clean and sober for 15 plus years. Give of myself whenever I can. I'm learning to be more honest every day, every moment of every day. And I don't have to have money to be a success. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm successful or a failure if I don't have a house, like mom says, or if I don't have the nicest car, or if I don't have the best job or a degree. Doesn't mean anything. I'm a good person. I'm kind and I'm gentle and loving and accepting. I had sad movies, and that's okay.
Does that feel complete?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going back in. Because right now you were just like a few feet away. You're going back in. And I want you to tell me, has anything changed? Is it still in your chest? Is it still black? Is it still melting? Is it still hot? Or has it changed? It's okay if the answer is no.
It's really hard to walk back in.
Hmm.
Still feels the same, but it's not as powerful. Like, it doesn't hurt.
Hmm.
It kind of hurt before, like a physical sensation in my chest and my throat, but it doesn't hurt as much. It just exists.
Is it still black?
Yeah.
Is it still empty?
Yeah, but it doesn't feel empty. It is, but like before it was like the emptiness was holding on to me. Now it's like I just see that it exists. It's like it,
It's just there.
yeah.
Anything else you notice about it that's new?
No.
So when you're feeling this despair, what would you rather feel instead? When that comes up, like if you had a way to just snap your fingers and feel something else instead, what would it be?
Serenity, like quiet inside of me, like no no external or no internal um dialogue, just nothing. Just like,
Hmm.
but not nothing, but like, the sound the breeze makes across a really pretty hillside there where there's nobody there?
Yeah.
That.
I want you to think of the last time you felt that serenity.
Okay.
And you can share with me if you want. You don't have to, as long as you have it in your head.
Okay.
What's the first image that comes to mind when you think of that time?
Ocean.
And what's the first word that comes to mind when you think of that time?
Calm.
Hmm. Okay, take a deep breath. You can come back to me now. You can open your eyes. So the next time you're feeling that despair, I want you to just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and think of the ocean and think calm. Can you try that? And then let me know
Yeah,
how it goes.
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I don't know. It's weird. um ha- Happy, like not like eat a cookie happy, like I don't know how to describe it.
Hmm. Different?
um yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exceptionally different. Weird. That is really strange. It's not prepared for that. uh it's similar to like, I don't want to make this gross because I'm trying to avoid that, but it's like the afterglow, right? The
After
afterglow.
after what? Intercourse?
Intercourse. It's very similar to that. Like I just don't feel pushed or pulled in any direction. I feel kind of floaty.
Hmm.
Is that This is really interesting. I was not expecting this. You're right.
Hmm.
It's very
It's
interesting.
different.
That is that is coaching.
Yeah.
Wow. I should do that with my whole life. That's really incredible.
That's just
Um,
one of them. I mean, the whole idea is Like, as a coach, I'm not here to give you answers. I'm here to help you pull out the answers you already have. In other words, get in there and unveil your beast. Hold
That
on.
was the best segue ever. I'm out.
I couldn't drop it, so it's just...
Yeah, I know. So, especially not now that you found out that it raises and lowers.
Right?
Definitely won't drop it now. That is really cool. I have to tell you, I was skeptical. I was. Ever since you asked me way back when, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be interesting.
Like, ooh, life coaching.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess, contempt prior to investigation. If you don't know about something,
Right.
you know, when I have questions for you.
Yeah.
Now. You're in the interview seat
Here
now.
I am.
Where are you? You're over there behind that tree. And you're over there. That was the best gag you ever had. When you were learning how to do this, was it they taught you by doing, or did they teach you how to channel people emotionally? How to like psychiatrists and psychologists learn the questions to ask to funnel someone into what the truth is about their mental illness, right?
Right.
Did they teach you the questions to ask like that, or did they just do it with you until you felt comfortable learning how to do it with other people?
So the program I'm in now, it's a year-long program.
Okay.
The one I was in when you were out here, that's like part A, and that's like the informational,
Okay.
like, here's what coaching is, here are some exercises, blah, blah, blah. So you have the information, but as you and I both know, information's no good unless you're implementing it in your life.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So the second part of it, I actually did in April, which was a 5-day embodiment training.
Mm-hmm.
So it was these exercises again. I mean, it's not just here's an exercise you practice with a partner. Here's an exercise practice with a partner. It's so different because we actually, the whole class morphs depending on the conversations that we're having. And sometimes somebody will say something and then the coach that's leading the class will be like, oh, hold on, let me coach you on that. And then they'll get like a live, boom, this person needed coaching. They got it on the spot. Wasn't on the agenda, but that's like the whole embodiment piece. And then the class I'm in now, we have a live class every 2 weeks where we go over a new exercise and then we practice it with our peers for 2 weeks. So that we do it so much, we just, we know what to ask next,
Interesting.
So the one I just did with you is called Voicing the Emotion.
I like that.
Yeah. So, and like, nobody would be like, the fuck, like, what do you mean? If this emotion had a voice, what would it say? What are you talking about? That's why I'm like, just go with it and just trust.
Well, I think oftentimes the things that lead us, because I remember when I first got in Alcoholics Anonymous, they were like, you have to write this list of all your resentments and your fears and your, all these things. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm not doing that. Like,
yeah.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
A lot of the things that are good for us spiritually and mentally speaking, I think, are things that don't cater to the norm, right? They're not things that you would ever expect to be like walking down the street and be like, man, I just channeled my emotions. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like experiencing. I heard it. It was in a book of quotes I read once. I think it was a Tibetan monk, but I can't remember who exactly said it. But basically, the paraphrase of it was, when you can hear your own heartbeat while meditating, you've reached a new level of awareness, self-awareness. And that always kind of stayed with me because I've been trying to learn how to meditate for 15 years. And I still am terrible at it. I'll get like 15 seconds, 10 seconds. That's it. And then thoughts will just bam, crowd back into my brain,
Have I ever sent you any of Yogi Brian's stuff where he's like, he starts all his videos with "What's up, fuckers? We're gonna meditate," and then he's like, "Relax your tits, relax your butt cheeks." I love that guy because he's
so funny.
Yeah, and he really is like a meditation expert, which is why I love him so much. He's like, "All right, relax your tits." I'm like, my tits are relaxed. Thank you.
Well, and that's just it. Is like, so what you just did with me felt very close to some things I've heard about meditation, where it's like there are things about ourselves, we get busy, right? We're from a very young age, we become busy with everything.
I know,
right?
busy.
Oh man, busy and me are best friends. And especially when it's healthy busy, right? When I'm like right now, I'm going to 4 meetings a week. I'm working out twice a week. I got all these like pack it in, right?
Yeah.
I never stop being busy, so I don't ever have to stop to observe my inner me.
Yeah.
And most of the time when I get that moment is when I pray in the morning. I'll take, I pray 2 very short, very simple prayers, and it gives me just a second to look inside and go, am I ready to face this day? I don't know, or yeah, no, hell yeah, I'm ready. Or no, I'm going to get back in bed, like, because if I, one of the prayers is, dear God, save me from me today. That's it. And if I say that and I don't mean it, just pull the covers back up over my head. I'm screwed already. But yeah, so it felt a lot like that, where like it's that moment that you take that breath.
Yeah.
In between all this stuff that we're taught is so important by society.
Yeah. And not every session goes that deep. We don't use the exercises in every session. Sometimes our clients just need us to listen to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, but when you listen long enough and you build that rapport with your people, like you can have them go into themselves. And that's again, that's one of the things I love about this is like, I'm not giving you answers. You're giving yourself answers. I'm just guiding you to them.
I love that. That's that's funny you should say that, because that's all Alcoholics Anonymous really does, is guide you towards your higher power and a way of life that, one of our, I hear it all the time in meetings. We drank because we couldn't stand the thought of us sober. I drank because I didn't like who Richard was sober. I was a lot of things that were terrible, and so you drink to cover it up as fast as you can. And when you get into the program, it's like you just continually strip away parts that you've buried for years, and you become this new being. You're not, that's a bug on me that whole time. Bye. Good one. You're not as concerned with I say this and it sounds so trite. What I want to say is, you're not as concerned with self. You are, of course you are, right? I'm going to look at the bills every day. I'm going to do all the things that I do, but when an opportunity presents itself to be greater than you normally start to take them. Just on Wednesday night, this guy at one of my meetings told me after the meeting, you can always tell when somebody's wearing their emotions on their face, and I go up to him and I give him a hug. Hey man, how you doing? And he goes, I'm fine. Right. And it was right here. Like, I'm fine. And I said, oh really? You're fine, huh? That's good. And I waited. He goes, yeah, I'm not fine. I was like, I know.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know. So I took him out to coffee and did what we call a 12-step call, where you either prevent someone from drinking or help them after they've drank. The idea is just to spread the message, put them back in, a spiritual place. So I like this. That's cool that you I had no idea that it was this deep of a thing. Now, have you done this with other people besides me that aren't your students? I mean, that aren't your peers?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did it go with them?
Good.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I mean, we always want to get permission, but sometimes I'll do something and I won't even tell them I'm doing it.
I
No,
can't relate.
I wouldn't do that with somebody that I don't know very well, but like if it's a friend or even
Mhm.
like with my mom, I've been doing it with my mom a lot. And it's so funny because she's
That's
like
amazing.
she's like, you seem a lot calmer.
You're like, is it
Yeah.
me, Mom? Is it me?
Is the calmness from me or is it the calmness in your soul?
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. I love your mama. We uh reconnected. Whoa. You don't get to do this. You don't get to do that. You
I
have a microphone.
tried.
Yeah, you did. We reconnected. It was good. It was really good. So
Good.
I part of my so I started my steps over back in March, and because you're always making new mistakes
Right.
because you can, right? And so part of the process is going through the steps again. Um, Probably from now to the end of eternity, I'll have a step study where I go through them again and again and again. And part of that is if there are, so one of the steps is the 10th step. It's basically made amends to a person. If I made a mistake that day, make amends for it as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But right before it is step 9, where you have this list of people that you already made the mistakes and you haven't made any amends for it, and you have to go back. So um I just finished step 9 with my sponsor, going through the list, and now I'm making little scripts for each one. Um, Basically, what to say, what not to say, if there's physical things that need to be done, if there's monetary things that need to be done, and you and Sean and your mom are on that list, and you know, it'll happen when it happens. It's something that you don't force it, you don't push it.
Right.
Like I've made an apology to you about my behavior, but an amends and apology are so different, because when someone can see that you are genuinely you've turned 180 degrees away from a behavior,
Mm-hmm.
that more of an amends than saying, man, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah.
so I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah. One of the uh misconceptions, I should say, that people have about personal development is that you're personally developing and then you get to a place where you've been personally developed and now you're going to stay right here. And that's just not how it works, because we're
Same thing with Alcoholics Anonymous.
so long as we're living and breathing, we're going to keep growing and moving and growing and moving
Yeah,
and
yeah,
personally developing.
right. You're like, oh.
But yeah, like it's a misconception that we end up at a destination.
Yeah.
And the truth is we're always reaching for the best version of ourselves. Um and it's like a, what's the word, catch 22, where like you never get to that destination, but just the act of trying to get to that destination makes you the best version of yourself.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's really cool. I love it.
Yeah, same thing in AA. It's we we are constantly seeking to be, but like you just said, a better version of ourselves, because
Mm-hmm.
what I do today will not keep me sober tomorrow. I need to learn more tomorrow.
Right.
uh, and it won't pass on the message tomorrow. I'll need new information. um, Now, that's not to say that my past doesn't work for me, because it does. When like I'm working with this new guy right now, and we're on step 4, and one of the things I told him was, look, as many times as I have done this, the one thing I've learned from it was, don't be frightened. Don't be frightened of writing these things down, because the more frightened you are, the less you're going to want to do it. And the less you want to do it, the more time it's going to take, and that's more time you're going to hurt.
Yeah.
Because you have to get this stuff out. You
Mm-hmm.
don't keep unsaleable goods in a warehouse. You get rid of them.
Yep.
And that's something that I used to get really mad in my marriage because when I say used to, I mean years ago and then recently.
Yeah.
Like it just happened. Because I felt like I was always the one changing. And while that may be true that I'm consistently growing spiritually, mentally, emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't necessarily mean that she's growing in a good way,
Mm-hmm.
but she's growing for sure. If she's alive, something's happening,
Yeah.
And so that's the expression in Alcoholics Anonymous is if you're not growing, you're going, which
Mm-hmm.
means you're heading back towards.
Yeah. And to add to that, like I guess, misconceptions all over the place, but
all over the
like
place. Yeah.
the best version of you is completely different than the best version of me, which is completely different than the best version of, which is completely different than the best version of Desmond. Like
yeah.
Go for the best version of you, not the person over there.
And that's where the success failure thing that lives in that despair with me.
Mm-hmm.
It comes a lot from looking at other people's lives, looking at things that other people have, and this sick sense that if I have that, I'm going to be whole. And I'm already whole. I
That
can
that say that again.
I'm already whole. and it's true. But I forget. I forget
Mm-hmm.
because for me, and I don't know if you've faced this in your close family, but in my close family, grandparents, not my grandmother, my grandfather, my
Mm-hmm.
mom, my aunts and uncles, all my cousins. The thing was always success equals money. How much land do you own? How many houses do you have? How many jobs? What kind of a job did you get? Where did you go to school? Blah, blah, blah. And so it's almost like my psychological foundation was built with that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I don't have this, regardless of, I could be the Dalai Lama, but if I don't have a house, I'm nothing. And so
Yeah.
I have to remember that when I think about those things. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah. That's
And
just
I
part
think
of your programming. We call it our programming. Like
sure.
there's never anything wrong with the person, just the way they were programmed.
Our sick little brain. And I think, would you agree that there is no such thing as someone who doesn't need a little bit different programming? In other words, everybody on the planet needs some kind of programming change. We've all had trauma of some kind or another that we like. People use the word normal, right? There's a normal person. Oh, I'm not like them. They're
Right.
normal. I don't know that exists anymore. What does
It
normal
doesn't.
look like?
So my answer to your question is yes. And
yes.
yes, we all need some reprogramming and reprogramming to suit the human because everybody's different. So like it's not this everybody needs to be program. Everybody needs to be everybody needs some reprogramming so that everybody can be like this. It's everybody could use some reprogramming so that they can be more like themselves.
Yeah, whoever they are, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So,
I find what you're doing now to be much more valuable than I initially thought it might be. The
well, thank
working
you.
outside Yeah, I hope you understand where that comes from, because I didn't know, I didn't know what it
I'm
was.
not
And
offended.
okay.
I'm not offended.
And I think uh coupled with working,
Out.
I don't, well, yeah, but not, but that's not what I mean. Like, working out can be different for everybody, right? It's the
Hmm.
same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't just head to the gym and just start doing 9,000 pounds on the, whatever bar. For me, working out kind of sucks because I've smoked for a long time.
Hmm.
So I'm having to work out at my own pace. And, thus far, knock on wood, I have not been judged at the gym. And I like that. The guy who's swollen and 7 feet tall doesn't look at me and go, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, that
Yeah.
guy's got his own road, and
Yeah.
the lady who's whatever, not worked out in 20 years and now she's trying to do it again. She doesn't look at me in any different way either. And I don't know if that's just because of where I work out. I got a membership at the YMCA. I think
Oh, that's right.
told
You were telling me about that last time. Yeah.
yeah,
And you were like,
yeah.
when did it become so amazing?
It's amazing.
Because suddenly you sounded like my father.
That is, I all day. I can sound. I can't do that.
That's
It's
cool.
good times. Thank you for walking me down that thing. I had never really faced
You're welcome.
that sadness, that despair that it causes me. Um,
I could see it in your face even when you were saying, but I know that da 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 da, and I know that I'm doing the best I can. And I was like, you're still feeling it though. I see
yeah,
it in your face.
yeah. No, and I carry it with me, and like I said, I think that I love the fact that when I just think the word calm now, I'm going to have an association. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. And
Probably
the
going to help.
ocean.
Yeah. Um, but the hardest part for me is that there's this regret over my first son. Um, and I wanted so desperately to be the father to these three that I wasn't to him. Um, and you don't know until you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know things until you know. And so I don't know. Have I been a good dad? I don't know. I wasn't as bad as my mom. I know that.
Well, I can take note of that for our next session,
All right.
which
Now
doesn't have to be recorded.
when am I
None of them
I
do.
just start paying you for these? Because this, I know you're going to charge me for this.
No.
You're an inspiration. Every time we do one of these, I walk away from it going, man, I should go work on my book today, or I should go do like something.
Do you need a coach
Today
for that? Just kidding.
maybe can you coach me from not being what's that word? You put things off.
Procrastination?
Yeah,
Procrastinator?
I am a the topic of my meeting this morning was one of our traditions in Alcoholics Anonymous, and it ended up a discussion turned to us being what was the word?
Poopy faces?
No, I can't remember what it was. Basically, we're uh we're idealists who never get anything done. We have all these ideas, all these
Mm-hmm.
things we want to do, and we never do anything. And we're just like, yeah, no, I could do this. I'm really good at that. There it is. It's over there. I bet you go good with gravy. Okay, I'll go this way now. Like, that's what we do. So
Yeah.
that's part of what the working out thing has been for me was I've been saying I want to lose weight for a long time. And when the doctor said I had diabetes, it was like, okay, that is a catalyst. I can take that's a button for me to push for when I am walking out of work. It's 4:30, and all I want to do is get in the car and go home and veg
Mm-hmm.
out, right?
Yeah.
Instead, it's that button that goes, "You want to lose a foot?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Say that? No, no, I don't want to lose a foot. I want to go work out." Like it's and that seems to be the only real way that I ever get off my ass and do my butt and do things is
You can say ass and fucking shit and crap.
An
Oh, okay.
S. Yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to not say it. Well, because I work with three guys who they hate it. They get so mad when I cuss. Like, that's
Well, I'm
cool.
gonna do the thing.
Yeah,
Even though like this wasn't really an episode, but I appreciate you letting me do this on a show just so people can kind of get the idea of what I do.
I
So,
appreciate you. I really
yeah.
do, and I'm truly. I'm not. That's just lip service. I'm going to use that next time because I know there's going to be a next time with them.
Yeah.
Like,
And
um,
it works. Like I said, like information without implementation.
yeah.
Now you have the information and the tool, use it. And if it doesn't work, come back. I'll give you another tool. Come
All
back.
right.
Click on the link.
I'm going to jump through the screen. All right. So do you want me to do the thing where I what is the thing? I give a piece of advice. Is that what it is?
Oh, I didn't do that thing. That's
That's
not
okay.
even the thing I was talking about, but let's do it.
Oh, all right. I have a
If you
good one too.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna do the thing, and I'm not even gonna do the thing, but I'm gonna do the thing. If you had one piece of advice that you could give to the world, what would it be?
My piece of advice would be stop looking for the differences. Look for the similarities. We're so pushed into divisiveness today by everything, by society, by the media, by politicians, blah, blah, blah. Look for the similarities. You never know when someone that you don't think that you would get along with could be someone you have something in common with.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry. I tried so hard. It's just when you lean forward, you were like,
And now they're gonna see it because I post the videos.
oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Bradley LaChance signing off. Until next time, say it with me.